So last week was Junior Worlds here in Emporia, and it was a ton of fun. I always have a great time at Junior Worlds. And the kids started getting here around Saturday or Sunday the week before, and they practiced the courses, and then they did the field events and started playing, and it was a great time. But I couldn't help but notice, whenever I asked someone how their practice round went, they always told me their score. And I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with keeping score in a disc golf round, but I couldn't help but think if there wasn't a more effective way to practice. So that's what I'm here to do. There's a new course that was put in an RV park nearby. It's a 3 or 4 hole course, so I can really go into depth on all the holes and not worry about taking too much time. But I'm going to go play that course. Now I think it's a shorter course, so I don't need to carry my full bag. So I'm going to downsize a little bit, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. And a felon for 4 hands. Yeah, should be good. So to my surprise, this actually ended up being a 6-hole course, and I would have loved to record commentary on site, but it was a little bit loud. But anyway, the first thing I do when I get to a course is I take everything out of my pockets. I don't like to have any weight around. And then I throw my putter on the ground just for good measure. So my theory behind practicing is that I always want to practice good shots. That's why I'm starting with like 5 foot or like 7 foot putts, because that's what I'm trying to hit. I'm trying to focus on making putts and throwing good shots and focusing on having a positive attitude the whole time. So I start to stretch a little bit. I'm not going to record the stretches because those are just weird. But yeah, I think this is a really fun little course. It's a great addition to Emporia. It's not really something we have with shot shapes and such. But yeah, I think it's a great course. So hole 1 here, I don't really know how long it is. There weren't any distances. They were just these little these T signs here, but it looked like a putter turnover shot. So I went with a guard on an Anheuser, and I pulled it a little bit to the right, and I thought that I was going to be past it and to the right there. So I went for the old Moonshine Warden, and I didn't quite give that one enough ante, and so most people would have stopped after the first shot. But the thing is, I wanted to practice throwing a good... Oh, I forgot I was using the face cam. I should have cleaned up my room more. Anyway, I wanted to practice throwing a good shot. So if I throw a shot and it's bad, then I'm going to be in a bad mindset about that hole. Or let's say I hit first available and I kick left, and yes, I do need to practice scrambling and getting up and down from over there, but that's going to be my experience on this hole, and that's what I'm going to come back to as I'm trying to practice, as I'm trying to play the tournament. So I want to throw a good shot that I can bookmark in my head of what shot I threw and what I need to replicate next time I'm on the course. So that's why I generally will throw until I get a good shot, or until I sort of learn where the trees are, where my miss is, what a good shot is going to be, and I know that I can execute that shot. So moving on to the video here, this is actually a truth backhand. I thought maybe a little bit more speed would help me get there, but didn't quite have enough speed to flip it over, so I thought maybe it was a forehand. It wasn't a forehand, but that worked out. And I thought the forehand was going to be the closest. But then I got up there, and the basket's kind of set back a little bit from these trees. So because I had thrown multiple drives, and generally I threw a lot more than I usually do. This was because it was the first hole, and I was kind of trying to get warmed up. But throwing multiple drives lets you practice multiple putts as well. It lets you see what the green looks like from all the different sides. So next is hole 2 here. This is a fairly straightforward 150 maybe foot putter shot. Yeah, I'm not going to practice a fairly straightforward 150-foot putter shot. I know how to throw that. I know that I can get inside the circle and get up and down. This next hole here, though, is a great example of one that I want to take several shots on. It's a hyzer over this water, and those branches kind of hang down that stop a forward penetrating disc. So I went with a felon on a big hyzer there, and I didn't get it far enough forward. It looked like I did out of my hand, but it actually dropped me about 80 feet, maybe 100 feet short. So then I grabbed my getaway. This is a lucid getaway, and I went a little bit wider line, and that let me sort of swing it around the tree, and that one ended up being only about 10 feet away. But then I thought, what if the wind is up? So I took a verdict here. This is a Biofusion verdict, and I threw it on the lower line, kind of trying to squeak inside the branches, and that one also ended up 10 feet away. And that's what I think is really important, too, about practicing holes by throwing several shots, because if I just thrown the felon and it had gotten through the branches and gotten up there, I wouldn't have known that that was the best shot. That wasn't the best shot. I would have thought that, oh, the felon got up there, and that's gonna be my shot. And then if the wind was up, like I had a big right to left wind or a big headwind or something like that, then I can't throw that shot. I know nothing else. But because I've thrown several shots, now I know what the best shot is, and I'm gonna be better equipped to tackle the tournament tomorrow. Hypothetically, that's not actually happening. So it is a good idea to practice upshots, maybe from your bad drives. So, well, I didn't throw this one very seriously. I'm holding a camera, but yeah, it's just a little forehand up with the felon here. So you can see my drives ended up about 10 feet apart, but they all got there different ways, and I know that I know how to attack this hole from any different wind. This is the next hole here. This one's probably about 250, and I was just goofing off. I said I don't want to hit trees, so I'm going to go over them all. And it didn't work out very well. You don't really see this one land. It lands way left of the trees. So I thought it was a putter hyzer, and I threw this shot, and it hit that tree just before the basket, and I thought I was inside the circle. But just in case, I wanted to throw something a little bit faster and see if I can get, see what a little bit more power does. And I ended up going along in the basket, so I thought it would be the guard. And then when I got up here, the guard was still outside the circle. It was still well short. So I took the opportunity to practice my jump putt so I know that I can birdie it from there. But also, when I'm playing this in the tournament, I'm not going to throw the first shot that came to mind, which is the guard. I'm going to actually throw that truth because it's going to get me closer. Now, this hole was kind of tricky. There's that branch on the right side that kind of hangs down, and so I wanted to go with a putter flex. And so I early released this one. It got through all the trees and got me up there for a putt. And if I just played that, then I probably would still be going for that Anheuser flex with the putter in the tournament. But I don't think the Anheuser flex with the putter is the shot. I thought the forehand was the shot. It was also very much not the shot. It turns out that the shot for this hole is like a mid-range on a standstill. The faster disc is going to give it that little bit more speed, and it's going to carry it straight forward, and I ended up with a 5-footer from that drive. So this is the last hole. This is hole 6. This is just a putter hyzer. This one's only about 250 feet, maybe a little bit less. And this is another one of those where I just really had to throw one shot. I knew what it was, and the shot performed like I thought it did, but as I was walking up, I noticed these trees on the right side hung in front of the basket, so I know in the tournament that I'm going to aim a little bit left, the hypothetical non-existent tournament. It's always really important to make a putt on every hole. You always want to make sure that you can capitalize and you can end your round on a good putt. So my mentality around practice rounds is I want to throw good shots. I want to figure out what the good shot is for that hole, and I want to know for certain that what I choose is the right one. I have no idea what my score would be on a round like this. I don't know how to keep score on a round like this. I know that I had a successful round because I threw good shots, whereas if I played my first shot on every hole, I would have probably shot 3 or 4 shots worse, and I would have had a score in mind that was bad. That's another thing that people like to say when they shoot a practice round. They're like, "Oh, I want to know what a good score is." Why does it matter? You're on the tee pad and you're throwing your shot. You shouldn't be worrying about what your score is. That should be out of your mind. In between holes, if you want to try and think about what a good shot would be, or what a good score would be, that's fine. But like, there's not much of a point in practicing for score, because if you practice for score, all you're going to find out is what score you shot that one time on that course. That's going to have no bearing on the tournament or what you're capable of or anything like that. Now, it's important to say that this is a serious practice round as if I was playing a tournament. When I'm playing a casual round, yes, I'm going to probably keep score. I'll throw one shot off every tee. I might throw a couple on the fun holes. But in general, I'm just going to throw, one shot and keep score and play for tags or something like that. That's also good because if you can put something on the line, that'll give you a little bit of competitiveness to it. It'll give you a little bit of it'll get you used to being in that competitive mindset where every shot matters. But yeah, I think that's it. That's my take on practice rounds. And yeah, so let me know how you practice for a tournament. Let me know if you keep score in a practice round and why you do that. I just don't understand. So if you can explain it to me, I would really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm gonna go live in about 20 minutes here on twitch.tv/DannyDisc. So come hang out if you have any questions, or if you think I'm wrong, just to come yell at me. That's fine too. So I'll see you next time, and always remember, slow is smooth and smooth is far.